Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attain wealth effortlessly, while others struggle financially all their lives? It's a question that has puzzled many, and one that Robert Kiyosaki seeks to answer in his landmark book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This isn't just any financial guide, it's a journey into the mindsets that separate the prosperous from those living paycheck to paycheck. Kiyosaki, an accomplished businessman and educator, uses the book to present contrasting views of money. He does this through the lens of two influential figures in his life: his real father, who he refers to as the poor dad, and his friend's father, the rich dad. The book is an exploration of their differing philosophies and how they shaped Kiyosaki's understanding of money and wealth creation. So, buckle up as we delve into the contrasting financial philosophies of the rich dad and the poor dad. What if you had a millionaire mentor during your childhood? A fascinating thought, isn't it? That's precisely the scenario Robert Kiyosaki found himself in as he chronicles in his groundbreaking book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. In the early chapters, we're introduced to two influential figures in Kiyosaki's life. His own father, an educated man with a stable job but struggling with finances, and his best friend's father, a savvy businessman with a different approach to money. The latter, referred to as the rich dad, becomes young Kiyosaki's guide into the world of financial independence. The rich dad's philosophy was simple, yet revolutionary. Understand the difference between assets and liabilities. To him, an asset is something that puts money into your pocket, like an investment or a profitable business. In contrast, a liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket, such as a mortgage, car payment, or credit card debt. It was a stark departure from the conventional wisdom of the time, which encouraged people to acquire possessions, often on credit, believing them to be assets. But Rich Dad's perspective was different. He believed in investing in assets: real estate, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, things that would generate income over time. This idea, seemingly simple, was a game changer. It was the cornerstone of Rich Dad's wealth-building strategy, and he imparted this knowledge to Kiyosaki. He taught him that the rich don't work for money, they make money work for them. They acquire assets, not liabilities. They focus on their asset column, not their income column. The Rich Dad's teachings didn't just transform Kiyosaki's understanding of money, it reshaped his life. He realized that financial independence isn't about how much money you earn, but how much money you keep, and how hard that money works for you. The Rich Dad's advice? Invest in assets, not liabilities. It's a lesson that has stood the test of time, a principle that continues to guide millions towards financial freedom. It's a lesson we all could benefit from understanding and applying in our own lives. Now, imagine if your real father was a well-educated man, but always financially struggling. This is exactly the scenario Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, found himself in. The poor dad in this tale is Kiyosaki's biological father, a man brimming with academic knowledge, yet consistently shackled by financial instability. This part of the book focuses on the lessons Kiyosaki gleaned from observing his own father's financial struggles. His poor dad, despite being well educated, held a mindset that prioritized job security above all else. He believed in the traditional path to success, obtaining a good education, finding a secure job, and working hard until retirement. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? This is a narrative many of us have been fed since childhood. However, Kiyosaki points out that this mindset often leads to a cycle of financial dependency. The poor dad was always waiting for the next paycheck, living from month to month, with no room for financial growth or wealth accumulation. His fear of financial risk made him hesitant to invest or explore entrepreneurial avenues. The poor dad believed that money was the root of all evil, and that it was better to focus on love, kindness, and other non-material values. While these are indeed noble qualities, Kiyosaki argues that they don't necessarily need to be mutually exclusive with financial literacy and wealth creation. The poor dad's perspective on money was shaped by fear and ignorance rather than understanding and strategy. This fear-based approach to money management kept him in a constant state of financial stress and uncertainty. Kiyosaki uses the poor dad as a cautionary tale, a stark contrast to the financially savvy rich dad. He encourages us to break free from the chains of financial fear and ignorance, to seek knowledge, and to take calculated risks. In the end, what's the poor dad's philosophy? It's simple, yet tragically limiting. Seek security, avoid risk. This mindset, Kiyosaki argues, is one of the key barriers that keeps many of us from achieving true financial freedom. What if you could break free from financial struggles and pave your path to financial freedom? Now, isn't that a thought worth pondering? Imagine a world where the lessons from both Rich Dad and Poor Dad are combined, creating a harmonious symphony of financial wisdom. That's exactly what Kiyosaki does in the final part of his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He doesn't ask us to choose one dad's philosophy over the other. Instead, he encourages us to take the best of both worlds. From his Rich Dad, Kiyosaki learned the importance of financial education. It's not just about earning money. It's about understanding how money works, how to make it work for you. It's about gaining the kind of knowledge that empowers you to make informed financial decisions. That's the kind of education that opens doors to financial freedom. On the other hand, his Poor Dad taught him about taking calculated risks. You see, financial independence isn't something that happens overnight. It's a journey, and it's one that involves taking risks. But here's the catch. These aren't blind risks. They are calculated, informed risks. Risks that you take when you have the right knowledge, the right financial education. So as we navigate our own paths to financial freedom, let's remember these lessons. Let's strive for financial education. Let's have the courage to take calculated risks. And let's remember that the journey to financial independence is just as important as the destination itself. The key takeaway: financial education is your ticket to financial freedom. So what can we learn from the Rich Dad and the Poor Dad? First, investing in assets rather than liabilities is the cornerstone of financial success. Second, we must overcome our fear of financial risk. It's through these calculated risks that significant wealth is created. Lastly, never underestimate the power of financial education. It's the compass that guides us towards financial independence. Remember, the journey to financial independence starts with financial education. Start today and pave your way to a financially secure future.